Hello, thank you for coming to my Cardano weekly recap where I'm going to give you all the information that you've missed in Cardano for the past week. We're going to be going over a lot of cool stuff today. We're going to be going over the recipients of the new stake pool dashboard grant from the Cardano Foundation. They're giving out some money. We're going to be going over the hard fork combinator test, the one thing that we're missing on the road to Shelley. If that goes well, then Shelley's going to be coming out here in a week or two. And then we're also going to be going over the ITN. We're going to be going over a couple advancements that happened this week with the ITN. And then as always, we're going to be going over the Shelley rollout development update to see what the developers have been working on, to see what's going on with Cardano Node, Cardano CLI, the wallets and everything. And then there's a lot more going on today. So real quick, before we jump into the video, I am still producing blocks on the ITN, 4.99 million. We're having a 13% ROI. We're actually not getting any rewards for these, but I am still out here producing blocks, paying, keeping this network up. One thing I did want to advertise in my video today is I did transfer all of my videos over to Libri.tv. There's going to be a link down below if you guys want to watch my videos on here. Libri is actually pretty cool, but you can tell it's a work in progress. It's a decentralized, I would say like a video streaming platform. So it's like YouTube, but decentralized. And what's really cool is you guys can stake to my channel in a way. So if you guys wanted to support me on here, what's cool is you can click on my channel and you can support my channel. And you essentially give me this coin called LBC, but you don't actually give it to me. You stake it to me and you can take it back at any point. But what you're doing by doing that is you're boosting my channel and giving me more views. But I'm just going to give this website a try. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it's a pretty cool idea, so I wanted to bring some attention to it. I will have all my videos posted on here at the same time, but I might not advertise it more than once or twice. Also, I have a Discord server, link down below for that. I also have a Twitter, link down below again for that. I also enabled ads on my channel finally. They finally said I was good enough to do so. So if you guys are annoyed by my ads, just feel free to use an ad blocker and then send me some ADA instead. But I am trying to make this work, so just make sure you guys support me in some way if you have the ability to. You can also download the Brave browser using my link, and I'll get $7.50 if you're in the United States. I mean, that's crazy. That'll help me out tremendously. But also just using my link to join the site and then watching my videos on here will help me as well. But yep, that's it. Let's jump into the video. I mentioned this in one of my older videos. The Cardano Foundation was giving out stake pool dashboard grants. They were giving out $1,000 for a period of 3 months, and they're going to be giving out that $1,000 each month, which is pretty cool. Today they finally announced who it's actually going to, and this is really cool. There's some names you've probably heard of, and we're going to be going over who they actually gave it to, and I think it's really awesome. Them just giving money to people who are doing this for pretty much free. Because I've checked ADA pools, for example. I mean, I use ADA pools every day. I mean, I advertise it in my videos every day. And I mean, I've donated some ADA to them, but I've checked their donation wallet, and they don't get as many donations as you think they would with how awesome their site is and how useful it is for all stake pool operators and all delegates. So what's cool is the Cardano Foundation is actually giving them $1,000 a month for 3 months. The next person they're giving that to is ADA Stat. I actually had not heard of this until today, but it does look like a really cool website. It's just a Cardano blockchain explorer. And I'm always happy to see third-party developers making stuff in the ecosystem. It's really nice design. I like it. It's you can tell it's very well made, and the people that are behind it know what they're doing. So I'm very happy that they're getting some money to work on it, to put some more time into it. And then the other one is Jora Manager. What's cool is this is probably going to help them actually move this over to mainnet, which is not actually Jormungandr. But yep, that's pretty cool. The fourth one was Pegasus app. This is another one that I haven't heard of. The description for this is to keep Pegasus services free for the community and provide information to delegators to make the best decisions throughout their staking journey. I've actually never heard of this, so let's go click on it and check it out. The Pegasus app. It was an app created for the community to be able to search, sort, and filter hundreds of pools in Cardano network. ADA holders would use it to track the most desirable pools and see details and historical data about them. So this looks like just another website like ADA Pools and Pool Tool, but it's on mobile. That's pretty cool. I actually haven't heard of this today, but shout out to Pegasus app. I really appreciate what you guys are doing for the community. It's really cool that you guys are bringing this to mobile on iOS and Android. I have never heard of your app today, but that's awesome. I'm glad you guys got this grant. The last one is something that we've probably all heard of. I know I've heard of it. I've used it a lot. It's Pool Tool. It's another site, kind of like Ada Pools, if you haven't heard of it. But these guys are actually the first guys to get up a viewer for the FF testnet, and this is really useful for us because we got to see our pools on there. We got to make sure they're creating blocks and they're being submitted to the network. So shout out to them. Their design isn't as nice as Ada Pools, but they give you a lot of information. So it's not always about design. It's nice for delegators to bring in more people to Cardano to have a beautiful design, but they were the first to bring out the ffpooltool.io, and I really appreciate them for that. This is what it is right here. This is really useful for just seeing all the pools on the FF testnet, because we didn't have something like this beforehand. But I think Ada Pools is actually catching up for that. But yeah, that's the 5 people that got $1,000 per month for 3 months from the IOHK Foundation. I think originally the grant was for 3 people, but they extended it to 5. But they said they got a lot of great proposals, so I'm really happy they did this. I'm sure they're going to do more stuff like this in the future. This just really helps out third-party developers. So that's awesome. Thank you to the Cardano Foundation for doing that. The next thing I wanted to talk about in my weekly Tuesday recap video is the hard fork combinator test that actually starts today on June 23rd. This is what we're waiting on for Shelley to be released. The Shelley code release target is June 30th, and the Shelley code backup release target is July 7th. So July 7th is the backup date that they've set. I don't really have much more information on this, and as the information comes out for the hard fork combinator test, I will be releasing more information. I'll probably make a video explaining the information that they derive from the hard fork combinator test, and then kind of explaining what they're saying. And that also leads me into the ITN ending, and that's kind of what was going to happen. I think it ended on the actual date was the 19th, and this sparked up a lot of interest. So at first, the day before the ITN was going to end, I posted a tweet and said, I'm really sad that the ITN is ending, frowny face. And then someone linked me to this. Charles released 2 videos. He says voting time. And in this video, he says that the ITN can be used as something else. And if we find a unique value for the ITN, then the stake pool operators can vote by just leaving their pool up if they want the network to go on. And then he also stated in the following video that if we decide to do that, then the rewards for the ITN will keep going on. So if you guys delegate to my pool right now and the stake pool operators all keep their pools up, which to me it seems like in consensus they all are, we are going to be receiving rewards for another month until the Shelley release. And I mean, right now is the 23rd, so if we do it for another month, that'll bring us to July 23rd. I made a video on this whole subject. I released on Saturday, so if you guys want to check that out, I really appreciate it. But essentially, I agree with this. It'd be cool to get rewards for another month. I'm not really going to talk about the idea of the ITN going on. That's kind of what I did in my past video. But I think it would be weird for the delegators to not receive any rewards for a whole month. To me, that's a little weird. And then what's also really cool is I was on the Cardano Foundation podcast, or not the Cardano Foundation podcast, the Cardano Effect podcast. You can see me right there cheesing as it started. I was really happy to be on there. Digital Fortress Rick actually texted me on Twitter Friday morning at like 7 to 10. I forget what the exact time was. But he said, hey man, do you want to come on for a talk about the ITN? And he didn't say come on a podcast or anything. He just said, hey, you want to come on to talk about the ITN? And I was like, sure, having no idea what he was talking about. And then I get there, and then you see Kyle and then Philippe and Umed were there, which I've all seen them before. I was really happy to talk with them and finally meet them. And then Charles Hoskinson was there too. So if you guys did miss this, I would check out this live stream. I had a lot of fun. I didn't say much because there was just a lot of good information calling back and forth. So that's what my video was about the day after, was kind of a little bit more iteration on my opinion. But either way, I had an awesome time. I'm planning on doing my own podcast in the future, and I'll try to have probably everyone on that was in this live stream. I'd love to have them on my own podcast. I just had a lot of fun, man. I enjoyed having a discussion. just the medium of podcasting is awesome. Just having a one-on-one actual conversation. I would like mine to be a little bit longer, maybe like an hour and 30 minutes. But I just had a great time. I love podcasting. I've listened to podcasts my whole life, and I plan on doing one myself. The next thing I wanted you guys to check out today is the Shelley rollout development update from IOHK. Our boy Tim Harrison has released another development update. I love looking at these every week. Christopher Greenwood is the guy going over this. I think you guys should watch this video. It's a real quick 5-minute video. He talks about kind of the momentum they're bringing with the Shelley update, and then how the development teams are releasing a new update to the node every 2 weeks, and then just minor updates incrementally every week. And we should be getting more updates for the Daedalus wallet this week or next week, which would be really cool. Right now, they just released a kind of basic wallet, a basic Shelley wallet, where you can use the faucet and the CLI to request, and then you can't stake or anything on there yet. But either way, it's still pretty cool. And then there should be I wanted to say this for stake pool operators in particular. For the Haskell testnet, there should be Cardano node 1.14 coming out here soon. So just be looking out for that. There's going to be a new Genesis cut. So we all do have to prepare for that. When the new Genesis is cut, if you guys have not done this before, you have to rebuild your stake pool. So sorry to burst your bubble. You got to redo all your work, but there should be some cool scripts coming out to automate that process a little bit. So lastly, I wanted to go over the weekly development report. I like to do these in my videos because it's important to see what the developers are working on. It kind of gives us an early image of what's going to be coming out. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to be going over a couple things the teams did. 3 really important things, but firstly, the wallet. This week, the team focused on the first Daedalus release for the Shelley testnet. I talked about that a little bit earlier. Work on the implementation of the hardware wallet support is nearly complete. That's awesome. Many people have been waiting on the Daedalus hardware wallet, so there's some more information on that. The support is almost complete. The team also worked on bug fixes and UI/UX improvements. And then the Industry team has really been kicking it off. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, Industry team. This week, the team added new features for Cardano Wallet ITN, Cardano Wallet Byron, and Cardano Wallet Shelley on all 3 platforms: Linux, macOS, Windows, plus corresponding Docker images. That's awesome. I love that they just released Docker images alongside this. They had to abandon the haddock documentation export, an insignificant loss, to enable CI to run and build all these new features within an acceptable time span. The team also worked on getting an integration test cluster ready by running a BFT leader in stake pools. Networking issues occurred, particularly affecting CI, which makes the cluster inefficient at this moment. This pioneering work did, however, allow the team to continue integration tests of various API scenarios. And then the networking. So this is one thing that I really wanted to mention. This week, the team pinpointed the source of the reoccurring network-wide disconnects on the FNF testnet and fixed the problem. The team has also made good progress on features required for peer-to-peer deployment. So this is one thing I've really been harping on lately. We currently in the FF testnet don't have peer-to-peer, and this is really important because we need to start testing out how our nodes find other people and connect to other people, because that's what peer-to-peer is. Currently in the Haskell testnet, you have a topology file, and within that topology file, you reference other stake pool operators, ones that you particularly trust, and you kind of make an alliance. You guys all have similar topology files that all reference each other, and this is how the Haskell testnet is working currently. But what is going to be added and what needs to be added and what was in the ITN is peer-to-peer discovery. And it's where you search kind of, well, on the ITN, you kind of searched around you based on location, and you found other people to connect to, and based on how secure their history was, you would connect to them. And a lot of issues can arise from this, and you can fork onto different chains. So it's really important that we get this out soon so we can start testing this to make sure it's all secure. And I'm really looking forward to that. And then also it's nice to hear that they've made some good progress on it. So hopefully it will be coming soon. And then always, I want to read the Goguen. This week, the Plutus team made improvements to build the Cabal system, including pinning the index date. So a freeze file is no longer required, getting the index date from the Cabal file for Nix usage, and removing rogue source dependency that was causing an issue. The team also began working on the Actus integration and produced a cost model for Plutus. They also made some updates to the client and server node protocols. But yep, that's it from the weekly Cardano recap. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did and you made it this far, please type in Industria team in the comments down below. I'd really appreciate that. And if you guys also liked this video and shared it, I would really appreciate it. But I'm really happy to be monetized. I'm happy for all the support I've been getting lately. So I appreciate you guys watching these videos. I hope you all have a wonderful day.